Hi, my name is Bo Bell from Team Bo Bell and Bo Bell Basketball Academy. That's an amazing question. It was a guy that played high school basketball. He had actually passed away. His name was Anthony Flanagan. He was one of the best athletes in the history of Georgia basketball. Went to the University of Georgia. He played two sports. He played quarterback and he played basketball. But he was the only guy that I ever saw that can throw a touchdown 100 yards with his left hand and his right hand. And he passed away. So he was very influential in my life. Oh, so that's a good question, man. I'm laid back, man. So it's like, I'm an R&B guy, right? So I like, Jagged Edge, like I said, 112, that's the kind of music I like. It would be, I'd probably be in the NBA, man. I will tell you, I did a camp for Dominique Wilkins, true story. And he had about 200 kids. It was at Swanee Sports Academy. And he came in and spoke. And because when I was trying out for the Hawks, I had to go, because the Hawks actually signed me to a contract. So I was going against him. At his camp, he actually told the kids, he said, if this guy was playing in the NBA, playing today's game, he'll be a #1 round draft pick. Because we was a little bit more physical back then. Today, guys you can't touch. Example, if Jordan was playing in today's game, he'd average 100. And that's a good question, man, because you making me think a little bit right now. So the 70s, I guess you can go with maybe Magic Johnson. Yeah, he was there. Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, those type guys. I think Jordan came in, 80s? 86, yeah, so Jordan. Let's see who else. Larry Bird. And we go on to, get to the Kobe's. And then coming up to, Steph and those guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got a LeBron. So, of course, LeBron. She loves LeBron. I would say all the above. I would say all the above. Because everybody's watching the media, they're watching social media, and they caught up in the brown, how it looks, right? They don't understand that efficiency is the key. A lot of them don't master the skills, the basic skills. Now, they're trying to do all this stuff that these guys are doing, but they're doing the moves, but they don't have a fundamental foundation. And basketball is a team sport. And that's what scared me about the game today. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of the European players are coming here, is because we have gotten bored with the basics. And so now it's become so commercial, and they stayed on the ground, right? And that's why when I went to Europe for 13 years, I came back here, and my thing was, I focus on the feet, right? I don't even call it footwork, I call it feet work, because when you talk about foot, you talk about one, you talk about feet, you talk about two. So when the parents ask me, okay, my kid wanna play a second sport, I say, look, put them in soccer if you wanna play basketball. Because what it does, it get them immune to using both of their feet. And so that's an advantage, and that's why a lot of European players that come here to America, right? And when they play in the league, not only are they more efficient, like some of these guys are embarrassing the league with the basics. With the basics, look at these guys. So the game is still played on the ground. I don't care how high you can jump, how fast you can run. You can't run fast in the ball, and nobody can't jump higher than the ball. The game is played on the ground. Greatest player all time, you had to hit me with that one. Yes, it's a good question. And the greatest player is Jordan. I know she loved Bron. I can tell you that she loved Bron. It's Jordan. This is where it all started. I grew up in Herndon Homes, the projects. I had 4 brothers and 4 sisters. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. There was no father figures in the home. We had 7 different fathers. So I had to grow up fast. I had a total of 11 jobs between the ages of 11 and 17. I lived in Herndon Homes. Herndon Homes was only like a mile from Georgia Tech. So what I used to do, because I had 2 younger brothers, I used to go to hang out at Georgia Tech, because one of my jobs was selling popcorns and Cokes at the football games. I made friends with the football players just to get out of my environment. And so they used to give me football equipment. So I bring that football equipment back, go to Salvation Army, I would buy t-shirts. I'm 12 years old, right? And I put numbers on them, stuff like that. And so I created a league with my little younger brothers and their friends in the section of the apartment. So we had a south, north, east, west. It started there, and my passion was football until I broke my leg. I was just really naturally good at football. And so when I broke my leg, I started growing and I started working out. Where I grew up in Herndon Homes, we had a football field and the lights stayed on all night. So I would stay up, sundown. I knew basketball. Sports was gonna be my way out because academics and school wasn't a priority in my house because my mother, she didn't know she was by herself, So I had to kind of find my way. I became a father of all my younger brother's siblings. So I had to grow up quick. So I said, I gotta get my mother out of here. And so I just kept working out. And then I started growing. and I started growing. What I learned through this whole process was when you're serving and helping others through your process and your struggles, the energy and the universe will bring energy to you that will help you with your life. That's what I learned through the whole process. So long story short, I got a scholarship to go to Gardner-Webb, went to Middle Georgia Junior College first. I went to college with a cast on my leg, true story. So you gotta be willing to die inside your dream, right? So I went to Middle Georgia Junior College with a cast on my leg because I was working out. I was so afraid that they was gonna take my scholarship. And so the day of trials, don't y'all try this at home. I go in the shower, I wet the cast, take the cast off, go make the team, go back to the doctor, put the cast on, and they made me captain of the team. That right there, that was a confirmation that I had angels around me. And my mother was having so many issues because she was relying on that income to help her offset these bills. So I said, I'm gonna leave school. And I left school and I went and applied to be a fireman. Applying to be a fireman, service, benefits, and I can make money. That's how I'm thinking at that age. I had no more position. So they put me in the police academy. So I took it. So I went to police academy. So all my friends were like, man, Bo 5-0. I lost all my friends, right? During that time, I never stopped working out. I knew it was gonna happen, I just didn't know how. I stayed true to the game. I kept working out. I took off my uniform went to the gym, worked out all night. One of my routines, I would run through the graveyard at night. It's crazy. I was doing some sick stuff. But I was obsessed with development because I had to make it. I had to. I didn't have a plan B. To me, plan B sucks, right? Because when you have a plan B, you don't put everything you got into the plan A. And so what I chose to do, by chance the plan A don't work, I get another A. I didn't operate in B's, right? So the Atlanta Hawks invited me to their camp because I was just killing the leagues here in Atlanta, the pro leagues. All the pros, I'm just destroying them. And they invited me to their rookie free agent camp. So I took the money I had made at the academy, I paid my way to go to the Hawks free agent camp, and they signed me to a contract. After that, it was history. It wasn't guaranteed. The #1 draft pick was Harry Machine Gun Kelly, who was the #1 scorer in the country. They cut him, they was gonna keep me. I was getting so much press, the newspaper, news, ex-police officer signed contract with the Hawks. It was just crazy. Everybody in the hood was like, Bo done made it. It was going crazy. It was bananas. And so Doc Rivers was holding out, him and Randy Whitman. They took less money a day before veteran camp. And they said, called me in the office and said, look, Doc and Randy signed. We're gonna have to let you go, but we want you to go to our CBA, which is the minor league in Ohio. So I go up there. They said, if Dominique get hurt or Doc Rivers, they're gonna bring me back. Both got hurt, I got no calls. So I came home frustrated playing the summer program league at Clark College. And I played my worst game ever. When I tell you worst, to my standards. And this guy come up to me with broken English. Would you like to go to play in France? I thought it was a joke. I'm like, did you not just see the game I just played? And that's why I thought it was a joke. And then he asked me to have a passport. That's when I knew it was real. They flew me into Belgium. They flew me into France. I ended up playing for the Boston Celtics in France. I was in France for 9 years and Switzerland for 4 years. I speak fluent French and fluent Italian. I would have never got all of that had I not stayed obedient and stayed focused and driven to my dream of getting my mother out of the projects. And I got my mother out of the projects. I built her a house. Rest in peace. She passed away 3 years ago, but I did everything I could to help her. And so I don't have anything to be ashamed or because I gave her flowers. During that time, no matter where I went, I had to go work with kids. Even in Europe, I got photos with kids that I work with. I had a kid who used to follow me around, practice. First guy at practice waiting on me. Games, first guy. So one day I took off my jersey and gave it to him. I think I had one of my best games ever. Fast forward, 30 years later, 25 years, he builds a facility. He's married, living in Asia with 2 beautiful kids. He sent me a photo. That jersey I gave him a long time ago is hanging in his rafters. You understand? So my point to that is, you never know the impact you have on others just by being kind. It's just always been in my spirit to serve and help through basketball. So I use basketball as a platform. To me, it's a form of ministry. That's what this is for me. It's not, I can do a lot of other things. I had a job in 2011. I was the head coach in the gym for a pro team in Canada, making 6 figures. I quit because it wasn't fulfilling. This is what I was supposed to be doing. Because when I retired, I was an investor, making a lot of money, everything from playing. But I was still charting buses and traveling around the country. Had the kids eating at 5-star restaurants so they could sit down. You had to wear a tie. You're gonna eat a starch, you're gonna eat meat, you're gonna eat a vegetable. And you ain't drinking no Coca-Colas and sodas, you're gonna drink water. Just giving them, teach them how to eat with a knife and a fork. So what I've always been able to do is try to use this platform to help and to change lives and give kids a navigational system and some life fibers so that they can go on and do whatever they want to do in their lives. So I know I was kind of long-winded right here, but that's my story. That's what I do every single day. That's my life. All I want to do is when it's all said and done, when I walk through those gates, I want to hear God say, well done. Seeing people like you be successful, that's been the most rewarding part. And when I watch these kids go and they be successful and they have families and then they come back and do what I do, that's the reward. Because you got 4 stages. You got the conception stage, you got the development stage, then you have the maturation stage, and then you got the transfer generation stage where you have to go back and pay it forward. When I watch kids and players that came through me and they are productive in life, they don't owe me nothing. I did my part. It's up to you what you do with it. That's the most rewarding piece. And when they come back and they just say, thank you, it's even more reward. But when they don't, it don't even matter because I'm not doing it for that. So I understand my purpose. I'm passionate about my purpose. I'm passionate about what I do. And just, it's all about changing lives. You know, basketball is bigger than basketball for me. Absolutely, absolutely. So like I was telling you, when I first retired, you know, I was trying to replace that income and that feel. And so once I just started focusing on developing and working with kids, when I tell you it was like kids was dropping out the ceiling. In the summertime, it was coming from all over the world, coming from Asia, coming from Costa Rica, Australia, right downtown to my little gym. God puts something in you and you close your hand. Can't nothing come in and can't nothing go out. But when you keep it open, it goes out, but your hands stay open so your blessings can come in. And so I just been always one of those people that keep it open. My purpose really kicked in 2006, 2007. I really knew that this is it. This is what he want me to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Hi, my name is Bo Bell from Team Bo Bell and Bo Bell Basketball Academy. I've been working with players for the last 25, 30 years, man. It's been amazing watching players grow. And this is my purpose to be heard right here. No. That's staying in. I'm not cutting that.